Ethereum, Israelis, Jews everywhere, we are being played. It never made more sense than after I watched this video about a Palestinian in the West Bank answering a question, why is it that Arabs and Palestinians can come into Tel Aviv and feel safe, and yet when Jews and Israelis go into the West Bank, they get attacked? And so you guys need to see, everybody needs to see this, because it can't be more clear. After watching this, like something just went off in my head. I'm like, now it makes perfect sense. We are being played. And you have to understand how their mind works. And this is explaining exactly how the mind works. So let's show you this 30-second clip, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to explain exactly how we're being played.
My name is Faiz.
Faiz, and where do you live?
I live in Hebron.
Okay. Another Hebron. Okay. Why can somebody who's Palestinian walk around openly and freely in Tel Aviv, but Jews cannot come to Hebron?
لأنه الأرض لنا وهم محتلين وهم عارفين هذا الشيء إنهم محتليننا ومحتلين أرضنا، فإحنا يعني بنكونش خايفين لما نكون هنا في تل أبيب. بس اليهودي اللي بيكون هون ماشي وعارف إنه أرض مش أرضه وعارف إنه الشعب يعني ضده بيكون خايف.
Okay, so he keeps repeating, it's our land, and so we should feel safe to go anywhere in our land. That's his mindset, and it's not just him. There is a full 12-minute video from the Ask Project on YouTube, where it's not just him, and you already know that when you ask any Palestinian Arab, they keep saying that this is their land, and they're adamant about it. And the reason why they can feel adamant about it is because we Israelis, Jews, are not saying it's our land. We keep wanting to say, yes, you can stay here, we can share it, we can live here. They interpret that as meaning we don't really feel like it's our land, and we feel bad about taking your land, so we're going to allow you to stay here in this land, in your own land, and because it's not our land, and we're not going to take it from you. This is the mindset that runs through every Arab Palestinian and even Muslims worldwide. This is how they interpret the conflict, is by this thinking, because their understanding of who owns the land is the one who forces himself on it and conquers it and pushes everybody out. That's what the Arab conquest has done. Or they force Islam and their way of living on everybody else through intimidation and being the dominant one. And so us Israelis, as being part of the Western mindset, want to accommodate everybody and say, oh, we can live happily together or whatever, we can be a democracy, you can have rights and everything. But if they would be in control of the land, that's not the way they would be in control. They wouldn't give democracy to us. And so they see us as offering concessions as weakness, and that they are still the dominant ones in the land. And this is what keeps them motivated to keep fighting and to keep saying to the world that this is their land. See, they don't want the land. They know it's not their land because they're afraid to come into where we are. And so this is what we are being played, because this is how they think, but then at the same time, they exploit the Western mindset and tell the rest of the world, the Western world, that, they want democracy, they want their equal rights, but they really don't. It's all a game. It's a freaking mind game in the world of dominance, because they know they consider us weak. And so they play these games in order to assert their dominance and to keep the conflict going. And they think that they have a way to take over the land. And it's not just them. They're playing us. The Arabs, the Palestinians are also playing the West. And then I can make a separate video of how the West is playing us. The West are also playing the Arabs. Like, everybody's playing each other, and fucking Israel is in freaking middle of it. And we're just taking it. We're in the matrix, playing along, and we don't even realize we're being played. And so all the people on the left, the liberals, and even I want to say some of these influencers, Rudy Rockman, Yosef, the guy from Israeli Advocacy Movement, who are actually on the religious side and on the right side, but they still have this idea that we can all live together democratically in one state and not have a problem. And they know Islam, they know the Torah, and yet they still think this way. And so Corey Gil-Schuster, the creator of this Ask Project, he's liberal, he's atheist, LGBTQ, and he also wants to all have peace and live together. But it can't be more clear when you talk to these people and you finally understand this is how they think. They don't care that we want to live with them because they don't want to live with us. It's that simple. They see us wanting to live with them as weakness and that we can be dominated. That's the core issue. So please, I want to point this out because nobody is really paying attention. Everybody is going into the details of this and that, tit for tat, the same arguments over and over with the Western mentality. And we have to stop. We have to stop with this Western mentality and realize we're not going to win with the Western mentality. I'll get into another video how we're actually going to win. We have to match their mentality with the same mentality that they have in order to win this. So stay tuned. Let me know what you think, and we'll get more into this.